This is Marcus Love, Talking After Dark. Today we got the special guest, Nard Ozzy. He's going to come on today talking about how we can have a harmonious life, living a polygamous lifestyle. Before we do that, today's broadcast here is brought to you by Rogue, the Watcher's Chronicle. Urban thriller I pinned a while back. You want to get it? Look at the bottom of the description link. It'll take you right to Amazon to cop that mug right now. So we got my man Oz on here. I'm going to bring him on. What's up, man?
What's up, King?
How you living there, brother?
Man, I'm living good, man. Living very peacefully, constantly prospering, and living just, having a healthy and loving and great life, and it's getting better. It's getting better as the Most High allows me to be here, brother. How about yourself, King?
I can't complain, God. I can't complain.
What's up?
Yeah, it's taken a while to get used to early retirement. It's been 14 months, but I'm just now getting acclimated to it. And it's like I'm at that point now. I kind of miss being there with people like you and Brother Eric when we used to work together up in Sacramento, and I'm at the other side of it where I like being home with my woman all day. It's kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of in between. So I'm trying to get myself acclimated fully. But it ain't about me right now. It's about you.
Okay.
I've had brothers waiting for this for a long time, man. I guess that's a long wait. It's they want to know. Well, kind of introduce yourself to the people how they're listening.
Okay. Well, first of all, my name is obviously call me Oz for short. I'm originally from Oakland, California. Shout out to the town business.
Okay,
right. Currently now residing in Georgia. Just growing up all my life. Pretty much, I had a very horrible childhood, and what I mean by horrible, it was pretty much I lost my father when I was pretty young. It's cool. I honor him by doing all of the things that I'm currently doing and the things that I have done. We'll get into that later if you really want to know. But through growing up, pretty much in deep East Oakland, or what we call as deep East Oakland, California, I had to pretty much maneuver through Oakland because it was during the times where people were not saying violence doesn't still continue because obviously we're having some issues in the world, but where I had to maneuver about how I was going to go home, how I was going to pretty much just survive the day. So I would go to the Boys and Girls Club and play ball. But through growing up, I was surrounded by a bunch of pretty much brothers and sisters who were pretty much violent. Like the fellas, they was just all about pimping. In other words, it was all about pimping and just using women for a bunch of things, whether it be for financial gain or personal gain. And I seen women, pretty much who were pretty much violent, in my neighborhood, where it'd be constantly fighting all in the neighborhood. They fighting the girls, dudes, and everything. But that's just another story. I grew up where basically everybody was, into the same thing. If you wasn't selling drugs on the street, you was in the Boys and Girls Club, or you was on the schoolyard playing ball. That's just what it was. So over time, I decided to leave the States. Not the States. I decided to leave California and pretty much go to Job Corps for a year because I just couldn't focus considering the fact where I was from, considering the fact, what I was around, having a dysfunctional family. I went to Utah for about a year, and then I realized that for me to be successful, as the Most High brought me out to be, I needed to get away. So I went to college. I went to Howard. So shout out to HBCUs up out there. Also, I didn't want to come back. So I ended up joining the United States Army, finished college, deployed a couple times, traveled the world. When I mean by traveling the world, I believe I hit the 7 seas almost. Thailand, Philippines, Brazil, Colombia. I mean, I could go on and on with that list. And I just decided to take my experiences involving IT and project management outside of outside, well, not outside, but back into the country. And been doing it ever since, man.
Man, that's what's up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, man.
Like for us, like yeah, we got your brother. We got the brother.
I see you. Hey, what's up, Eric?
Yeah.
Bro, that's my boy E, man. Shout out Eric.
Eric's all right, man.
Yeah, that's a great brother, man. Very great brother. Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, some wonderful times, man. We had over there in Sacramento, man.
I know, man. I know a lot of people they don't think I actually work for a living. I worked for them for like 30 years, and I met y'all like I guess what 2016 or 17.
It was around no, it was 16. In fact, we was just because me and Eric would sit around, we would talk, we would pretty much. I wouldn't really consider it conversation when we all get together. It was more like fellowshipping. I was fellowshipping with my brothers. I was fellowshipping on a lot of things. I was fellowshipping on the world, relationships, men and women, and what's going on and the outcomes, of why us, particularly as Black men, should take initiative to travel outside of our comfort zone, or what is called the United States of America, and actually try dating and marriages out that way as opposed to doing it here. So I mean, I really love hanging with y'all. We talk about everything. To me, those conversations was actually better than the barbershop conversations.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because it was low key barbershop because it wasn't too many Black people working there, and even fewer Black men. It was Eric, you, and another brother. I can say his name. It was a brother who worked in IT.
I know what you're talking about. It was
he's from the island. His family's from the island, but he's born in the States. And he and I used to talk a lot too. And he gave me a lot of advice when I was still looking for an overseas gig.
Mm-hmm.
When I was working for the government, he gave me a lot of advice. But it was one more brother that worked. I don't say his name either. Damn. I remember he got divorced and he had been married for like years, and he was older than me. I'm 57. He was up there. And did his office one day, and this is after you left. And it made me sad, man, because he was a cool man. I said, y'all been married how many years? I think 30, 40 years. And she up and left him. And that got me thinking about this topic. I'm saying, what if he had another wife, man?
Uh-huh.
Because he was a good brother. I mean, seriously, he was straight as an arrow. He reminded me of your granddaddy or something. I'm thinking you should have been retired, brother, but he was hanging in there. He just got a house. He had to get rid of the other house because his wife up and divorced him. So he had to give the house to her instead of fighting over to split up the assets. He just gave it to her. Mm-hmm. He was an Army veteran. So he used his benefits to get another one. And this is like right before I retired in 2019. Mm-hmm. He was telling me it bothered me. I had to leave his office, man. It really bothered me. I'm like, damn, if it can happen to him, he's a good guy. He's what you call an old, nice guy. Mm-hmm. So that's going to lead into the first question we got for you on Talking After Dark, Brother Oz.
Go ahead, man. I mean, well, go ahead. I'm sorry, bro.
What can I say? You know what? Just what made you decide to live a polygamous lifestyle?
Okay, well, again, like when I grew up in Oakland, I mean, growing up, I was messing around with multiples of women like constantly. I mean, I was dating this girl, that girl, this girl, and that girl, and I was lying. And the more, I got involved with these women, the more I decided I was developing actual feelings for them when I tried to stay away from, like, even when I tried to keep it cool, just, okay, I'm gonna make you feel what you want to feel, but at the same time, I'm just gonna be with this girl over here. But over time, I caught feelings, and then I got caught up in a lot of situations. I got caught up by whether they was going through my phone, which I hated, whether if the girl would just, I'll be rolling around the street, and as they say, you should never play at home, but I was playing at home. So, I would run into girls, from time to time. They'll see me at the movie theater, the mall with another girl, and it'll be a real huge, breakout and fallout. So I got married when I was in the Army. And even when I was in the Army, I still would see multiples of women that I found very attractive. And in this society in America, they feel that, they say if you're married or if you're in a monogamous relationship, you shouldn't even look another woman's way. You shouldn't even, don't even have feelings, or try to catch feelings. But hell, I couldn't fight those feelings. And at times, I would still step outside of my marriage sometimes just to be involved with other women. So I say after I got divorced and this was my first marriage, excuse me, it's my first marriage when I was in the Army. I was pretty much traveling around the world, and I seen that I was being treated as a king, and I was dealing with women who didn't care how many women that I was actually talking to. I mean, although they were third world countries, these are still human beings who really didn't care. Or even if they weren't, they didn't even care. Like, we don't care. I don't care what you do. Just, do your thing. And maybe they probably was doing their thing. But I know one thing is that I didn't have to hide anything. That's a very uncomfortable feeling. It was an uncomfortable feeling for me. So I started beginning to question myself. Why can I not find other women attractive, or why can I not have this other woman if she want to be with me? So instead of me lying to them, I decided to first stop lying to myself about I'm not the monogamous person. I'm not a person who likes to be in a marriage or a relationship with one woman. I like multiples of women. And I think personally, any man who do desire if they find other women attractive or if they want to be with other women, that it's okay. I don't vibe, and excuse my French, I don't fuck with, any feminine shit that says that because I'm a man, I can't date or be with other women. So I made a conscious decision a long time ago to just, accept, my why the Most High created me, which I feel is to have multiple wives. So doing my research, I found out that there is a community for this. There is a community that you can become a part of, which is the poly community for people who want to dive deeper and go deeper into the polygamy situation. So that's how I came about it, Mark.
Now, see, I'm glad you talked about how you guys are in a community,
Right.
like, and you guys are fellowshipping together. You learn from each other,
Right.
relationships, how you do business. My thing is, I'm not. I have to say this. We're starting early in this discussion.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to just say it's men because it's women too. It's people out there.
Right.
Well, how do you respond to people who say it's a double standard just for if a man is going to have more than one woman for polygamy? What's up with polyandry? Women having several men. They say how do you justify that double standard?
Well, to me, what we're talking about, well, you mean polyamory? Polyamorous?
Pardon me. Yeah, polyamory.
Yeah, no, it's
Polyamory.
cool. Polyamory is more on an equal basis. Like you can, with some people, have what is called a closed polyamorous situation. So basically, let's say it's equal. You date a girl, y'all dating each other, but y'all free to go date whoever you want. You could date this woman, she could date this man, but y'all have an agreement, which is to come together and interview the people, do a cross-examine on what kind of people you're dealing with. Now, for that situation, I don't care. I got friends that are polyamorous, right now, and they love what they do. That's just their situation. That's just who they are. Now, when it comes to a polygamous situation, when it's a one woman to multiple men, to me, I don't care. But at the same time, I'll be like, why? Like, why? Like, if you really do the math, there's really more women than men right now. Men, not seriously. So for me personally, I'd be damned if I'm just going to just deal with one particular woman like that. Nah. If you ever heard of a king, a queen, having 3,000 kings, I never heard of that.
Hell no,
Hell
never.
no, never that, man. So for me, You only see a king with multiples of women. If you put it, for an example, the animal kingdom, let's go there. You have lions, and then you have the lioness. Okay, so usually the lion, he has his queen lioness, but at the same time, he is always surrounded by lioness. He's surrounded by female lions. If you look at what's the name of that movie? If you it's a cartoon, but it's something I used to watch. The Lion King, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. Mufasa was always surrounded. He had his queen, but he was surrounded by lioness. Where were the other male lions? They weren't around. When you deal with an ape, a gorilla, he has his gorilla, he has his female gorilla, and then he deals with all female, gorillas. So usually in the animal kingdom, except the human species, a lot of people find fault in it, because that's just society standards, if you will, that will just shake his head no constantly to a polygamy situation. But yet again, it's that same society that says it's okay for a transsexual to go in any bathroom that they want to go into. You see what I'm saying? So going into that, but to answer your question, and if you want to talk about the statistics, about how many women there are so many available women, so many, man, just man, not even in the United States, but in various countries. I've been there. I've seen this stuff. I'm sure you've seen this stuff, where you go to an establishment or a club and it's more women. When you go to the malls, more women. When you go anywhere out in the public, it's more women. So I mean, to each his own. If it works for you, if it works for you. But for a king like me, that don't work. That don't fit with me. And I don't even think, personally, we were created to just be with just one woman. We weren't.
Solid, man. Brother, and it's like, what's your criteria for it's like, what would a woman need to bring to the table to be even considered to be your wife?
Okay, well, if we're going to get into that, well, to you have to be a woman of quality. You have to have half a brain on your head. Like, you just can't be no regular pretty woman. Excuse me. I'm not that kind of person. Oh, she's pretty, let's get in here. Nah, you have to go through a process with not just myself. You have to go through a process with my family. I'm married already, and we have a girlfriend. So my girlfriend had to go through the process. One, do she fit our sheet as far as being worthy and capable of being a wife? Two, can she get along with my wife already? Because I have to talk. See, I have a say, but my wife has the final say. Because if I go ahead and
repeat what you just said about who has the final say.
I have a say, but my wife has the final say.
Y'all hear that, ladies out there watching this?
Like, the reason.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you did. Now, the reason why I say that, because let's just say if I went ahead and I could, hey, she's coming anyway. But out of respect for my wife, the possibilities, and I don't believe my wife will ever leave me no more than I'll never leave her, but it'll make her feel uncomfortable. So then I already done shook up the house. Me being a man, I didn't take initiative or the responsibility to secure my home. I allow some possibility I might let somebody in that's bad in my home. And that's my department. That's my security department. So my wife would be uncomfortable, and then let's say she might leave, and I might end up with that other individual, or possibly by myself alone, just because I didn't secure my house or because I didn't see what my wife saw. So, but let's keep going. So my wife,
right now, you're with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
I met before y'all got married. And going out there, any naysayers thinking that this brother married a bum woman, you are far off.
Hell no. Nah.
Physically, mentally, spiritually, all that.
Yeah.
She was a co-worker of mine, so I testify to that. I'm no bullshit.
Don't forget beautiful.
Married no bum. He married a smoking hot woman who got her head together. So I know I'm going to be getting all that in. So before you come in with that, I had to clear that. Now, back to saying you got your wife, you got a girlfriend. Is she staying with y'all, or is she in her own place? And two, is there any jealousy between the women as far as are they jealous of? Are you giving them enough equal time being spent with them?
Okay. Well, no. First of all, Our Lady does not live with us. She lives in Las Vegas. You know, because again, even though we're dating her, we're dating her. She still is going through again what we call, and we're all going through it, the process of getting to know each other to make sure is we know what we not just what we want, but what we need, because that's what it's all about. Do you need us, and do we need you? So we're all still going through this process to make sure. And the answer to your second question, I believe you said that. What was it? What was that second one, Mark?
Oh man, it was like I was like thinking like, you know how women get
Jealousy. Okay,
she may get jealous, maybe
right.
either or. It could be your wife or the girl that you guys are seeing, that you guys are courting this girl. Does the lady feel jealous that you're spending more time with one or the other?
No. I mean, there's first of all, we're not really that mechanical in a sense of schedules. I mean, we all spend some time with each other on the phone. We all video chat. Well, they are more texters. They like to text. They like to go back and forth with text messages. I don't like that bullshit. I don't do texting. I'm a verbal communicator. I am a video communicator. If you're gonna talk to me, if you're gonna be any woman or wife of mine, we're not. I mean, a few words is okay. I love you. How's your day? But to get into long discussions via text, I'm not riding with that. That's some new shit that everybody else is doing. I don't move. But no, but to keep going over it. No, there's not a form of jealousy, in our situation. I mean, if there was, because all things are possible. You have to consider that. Sometimes that's a possibility. But you bring it to the table as a family. You handle your issues as a family. You don't do it individually. You do. If you're able to solve these things individually, then fine. You're adults. But if you can't, then you solve it as a family, and that's where the power is within the family. That's how you resolve that matter. If that was the case.
So how about personal things? Because these women are still two individuals. I'm just thinking, any time when you have personal conversation with your wife or the woman that you guys are now dating, that will be private, that you say, if you had a private conversation, the issue that the woman in Vegas had, would you keep that between you and her, or would you share that with your wife?
I share with my wife, because my wife does. I don't hold no secrets. I hold no secrets from my wife.
Do you consider that one of the important things of living a life like this?
Absolutely, because you have to. Yes, communication is the key. Communication is one of the foundations that holds a family and that holds a home together. You have to talk. You have to communicate, because just because my girl might have an issue with me, or might have an issue in general with the world, my wife is going to know about it. Or if my wife has an issue,
regardless of what the topic is,
we talk, we communicate. That's one of the that's talking about what standards the ladies need to meet. You have to be willing to communicate. You can't just sit there and deal with your issues on your own, although you possibly may have been dealing with issues on your own. You are not alone anymore. You're with someone or somebody's. You have to communicate these things, because now you have to say to yourself, well, 3 heads or 2 heads is better than just one. Someone might have a better solution to my problem, or we can resolve these problems. I mean,
so
that's
resolving problems with money, because a lot of women would say, they won't even admit it, but that's what they're concerned about: money equaling security.
Right.
Of course, you providing more for one woman than the other. I've researched a lot of this, but it doesn't make any sense, because I'm not living that lifestyle. I'm with one woman, but you are with more than one woman. So how would you do you delegate authority or anything, or is it all on you? The women submit to you, and I mean, do you take their input, their advice, or is it the final word yours?
Well, what it is let's talk about finances first of all. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, let's talk about let's just go over the benefits of polygamy. Polygamy, it is in a sense it's a tool. Money is a tool. I don't really say it's the first part. It's a tool. But with polygamy, you have greater cash flow, you have community environment, you have sisterhood, you have more intelligence added to your family for decision making, and you do have large bank accounts, and you do, I mean, all of these things are factored in. You have removal of debt. So when you go to it, and I'm going to quote Brother Polite as he says that family is law. I mean, excuse me, love is law and family is business. So you have to really treat your family as it is a business, because it does involve the financial. You have to factor in finances here. But that is a security, in my home. But everybody contributes to the family. Normally, or in the biblical sense, mostly men would be the provider, and I am a provider. But my wife works; she has a career. In this case, this woman will work; she would have a job or a career. You have to ask yourself, we need to know. So, damn, I lost my train of thought, man. But anyway, that's just some of the things. So money, bottom line, you don't have to really worry about that, but you have to be willing to contribute to that. That can't be your first priority. Your first priority cannot
That's a
be.
good question that I know is going to come up.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking in, I'm looking into myself like, it's almost like a cliche. You tell a woman, men and women do this to each other. You see it all on social media. You see it in real life, offline. What do you bring to the table? And you ask a woman that,
Right.
I mean, she has to have more than just her sexuality. Can you go into that? What does she have to bring?
Damn right. I mean, it's not first of all, polygamy is it's not about sex. It's not about sex. It's about community environment. It's about family. It's about being detached from, a government marriage system. It's about a circle of love and respect. If if you're putting, money, before it all, even though I just said that, love is law, family is a business, but you have to put the love first before the business. You have to put the love before it all. This is an arrangement, that we all have, and we have to make sure that you feel comfortable in your situations, or you have to make others feel comfortable in their situations before they become involved. What is it that you can provide for them, and do you meet the requirement for what they're needing from you? I mean, it's beneficial for both parties. Like, we may need someone to help with the children. We may need someone to run a business that needs an extra hand. When that by particular woman, we have to make sure that we can fulfill her needs and for what she's coming into the relationship with or for. Make sense?
It makes awful sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to play devil's advocate here. I'm just thinking about, it's mostly what women would say. You got some men who just come in, just be contrarian and say, I don't like it at all. I expect women to do that, but when men do it without giving me a logical answer, what do you got against living a lifestyle like this?
Mm-hmm.
They always seem to go to sex. It always seems to go back to that.
Well,
you and I had a conversation prior to this show even starting, like last week. Remember when I was telling you, I never mentioned any names, but you're like the third black I know that lives this way. But you're the one that seems to be 100% into it and committed, and you seem to be making it work. So if anybody out there that want to follow what you're doing, what would you suggest to them? How can they convince a woman, if they're living with a woman right now, how can they convince them to, I mean, is it possible to convince them just to go with your program?
I think anything is possible, but then again, you have to ask yourself a question. One, what do you know about your woman? What do you know about her already? Is she the jealous type? Is she
Okay.
the type that, you know, wear a heart on her sleeve? Is she super, super insecure over you? Because if she's super insecure over you, possibly she probably may not want to go with it. But to educate them, but you can't always present. I think an idea is always there's no dumb idea. If it's good, if you listen to some of the things that I went over as far as polygamy, you know, if you present this to her with this first, like, hey, would you like some help around the home? Would you like some help with the children? Would you like some help, you know, with us having more quality time? So, you know, one of those big things that I feel we have, you know, when it comes to relationships, especially a monogamous situation, is time. Because as they say, you can replace anything, money, clothes, but you cannot get back your time. So if I was to break it down, right? Let's just break it down. We're gonna go to a schedule. So your average work day is 8 hours a day, right? So
Yeah.
let's count 8 hours, 24 hours in a day. Let's break it down. 8 hours in a day. So if this is me presenting to my woman, if this is what I wanted, let's break down our schedule, babe. We work 8 hours a day. We have to travel to and from work. That's 1 hour there and 1 hour back, depending on traffic, how horrendous it is, which, you know, if you lived in California, you know, traffic can be horrendous. So that's 10 hours already gone already out your day out of 24. Then you got to get home. You know, obviously someone has to cook. In this case, my wife cooks. You know what I'm saying? My girl will cook. Okay, so that's about 1 hour. Then you got 1 hour for cleaning. Shit take place every damn day. People don't live under the normal circumstances because the day doesn't accommodate for it. Okay, but let's go into sleep. They say you should sleep, you know, you should have at least 1/3 of your life, you know, 1/3 of your life should be dedicated to sleep, which is 8 hours. I totally disagree. So let's just say 6 hours. Okay. So now you are already at six. Let's say let me see. 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 hours. So I think you're like right around 17. You know, then we didn't even factor in cleaning, which is, I mean, grooming. You have to wash it off, you have to clean yourself. Okay, that was 1 hour. Women need this all the time. They need this much more than we do. They have to thoroughly clean themselves. They're very, very, you know, particular creatures about their cleaning. I am too, but you know, fellas, you know, let's be real. Sometimes we do 30, sometimes we do an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. So now you got to eat. That's 1 hour. So that's already 20 of your hours already gone, you know. Then you have 4 hours left. Okay. Let's say hopefully your children's schedule doesn't conflict with your work schedule where you could, you know, where you could spend some time with your child. You have a social life. You know, you have a social life, you have all of these other things. So that's all within 4 hours. I mean, you have 4 hours left to do all of this stuff. Then you have to overcompensate on the weekends. Well, excuse me, I was 24 hours. So then you have to overcompensate your weekends and possibly some people get drunk, some people go out to the club depending on some kind of, you know, salsa bar. Me, I like salsa clubs. I don't drink alcohol at all. But someone isn't going to get their time. And the person who needs to get their time is you. It's that woman, it's the children, all of these things. So if I'm presenting this to my woman as a presentation with these list of things and where we can benefit from polygamy, see how she feels about it. Like, hey, would this be a great idea? Honey, would this be good? What do you think? Tell me what you think. And she says that's great. Okay, well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about polygamy, you know, and why it would benefit us. Or do you desire spiritual growth? Do you desire a larger bank account? Do you desire, you know, greater support for home responsibilities? You know, do you want to have a business, you know, rental property, investment potential? Do you want to have these things? And if you can, if your presentation and your delivery is outstanding, she might fall for it. She may not. It just depends on what you're dealing with. Now, usually, but that's just with someone who's in a relationship, though. To answer your question, Mark.
And those of us who aren't in one,
Mm-hmm.
imagine that the role is a little bit more, well, I won't say harder,
Flexible.
do a little bit more work if they're not already in a relationship? Or is it the opposite? Is it easier if the man is single, no woman at all? Is it easier to get more women, or is it easier to already have the wife and then go out to get the other women?
Well, for a person with my personality, I think it's easier, to be honest.
No shit, for real.
I think for a person with my personality, I get the reason why I say it's easier because I've been on so many different websites. I'm gonna give you brothers some game, even some of you sisters too. Sisterwives.com, polydating.com. You know, you'll usually find, and this is the bullshit that I gotta deal with too. I'm gonna be honest as well, but let's talk about single if you're available. A lot of women, some women on those platforms that I just mentioned, don't want to be, they look at it crazy. It's fucking weird. They look at it at being a number two, and they don't want to be a number two. They want to be a number one, and they want to build with you on having a polygamous marriage or relationship. So if you have a woman on those websites that's actually looking for a family, and you as a single man approach this woman who's looking for a family, but you are attracted to her, in her mind, well, I get to be number one and I get to build one with you. So therefore, guess what? I get to come first. And I think that's a stupid way to look at it personally when women get into that.
Sounds selfish of her.
It's a very selfish thing, man. But see, again,
damn.
I mean, it's so selfish because, and I was in a situation like that almost. Well, not that I was single, but women on those platforms. Like I met so many women on whether it be Facebook groups. I mean, me and my wife, we fit the.
I'm not trying to cut you off, but the women that you and your wife met on these groups online, can you give me a guesstimate? How many were single, or how many were single mothers, or how many didn't have any kids at all? Just a guess.
Out of maybe, if I had to give maybe 1 out of 20, I'd say maybe 18 or 19 of them were single parents.
Okay. Did you have any issues? Like, would you? I mean, your opinion of taking a single mother on in a poly like this,
right?
Obviously, you like it because you've done it,
right? I'm doing it.
Do you have any steps of them to go through? Because right now, you give them these websites. Are the websites the number one pathway of finding these women, or are there anything else out there? And if they are, the same question from like, what advice do you give these brothers on having that criteria of how to choose wisely, even though your wife's going to be picking with you, but the brothers who don't have anything, no woman at all, kind of give them I don't say maybe like a cheat sheet of how to do it properly.
Okay, well, one, make sure that you are make sure that you're put together. Make sure that you're put together, and make sure that this is a decision that you want to take on. Because again, when you're dealing with children, women who have children, again, if you're talking about marriage, those kids are your kids as well. You know, you have to take on and assume that responsibility as a family. Okay, but to what I look for as far as a wife, I do look at someone and I say, okay, here's an attractive person. Let me send a message. Obviously, they're on a poly platform, a website, or they're in a group. So I message them, and then I run through the list that's important to me. Like for an example, I love to eat. I don't like a mouthy ass woman. I really don't. I don't flow with it. I never have. 3,
a molly ass woman.
I don't like. Huh? Say it again.
I was wondering, what do you mean by like you said like a molly ass woman?
A mouthy, a woman who basically.
Oh, my bad,
mouthy. A mouthy woman who
disruptive, yeah,
very disrespectful, who really don't know. Like me, my wife is submissive. She's submissive, and in terms of being submissive, she's not a slave to me. She's submissive for her family. She's submissive because as the planner, the provider, and the protector, she understands what her plans are and she see what my plans are. We make it one world, but I'm the leader of this situation. I'm the head, she's the body. It's God, me, my wife, then the children, in that order. So, some men don't mind, doing it the other way around. Now, me personally, I mind. You can't do that. So it's just about what you really need, what you really need. So once you actually grab the woman's attention, you get to know her and see that if she is exactly not what you want, but what you need. That's the one thing that we could go out here. Like I said, there's more women in the world than men. It just is. I could go out here easy if I was single and go have some sex. I could go have some sex. That'd be no problem. But in the end, what is it that I need, particularly from this woman? Is she family oriented? Can she take care of children? Does she mind cooking? Because if I'm going to protect you with my life and guide you and lead you, then you have to be willing to be submissive and be able to help. Are you a helper? Which women I feel were created. You're here to be a helpmate. And if you don't want to be a helpmate, then there's no point to it. But more of the blueprint is just constantly conversing, just having conversation, just making sure that hey, that she is comfortable with you as well, and she doesn't mind these things, because most women I come across, they want to be loved, they want to be in a family, they do, but they want to play the man's role, and to me, that ain't gonna fly. Men and women, we have roles to play. Everybody has a role to play.
I'm glad you said that, man. Women knowing their proper role. And when you said you went online, these several groups,
right?
You said like what, 9 out of 10 of the women were like tripping like that?
No, wait. You talking as far as tripping as far as being number one, or?
Yeah, number one, because the woman might want to secure her position early, especially if you're single. I'm asking, is the woman thinking, well, I'm this first woman? Do you get more? Oh, let me reword that. Before you got married, still living the same lifestyle, telling women, I live a life where I have more than one woman.
I was telling them that, but see, I didn't give a damn, because in my mind, I was on my way to the Philippines, where I have residual income. So I could go over to the Philippines. I can go to Thailand. I bought a condo already in Colombia, Medellin. So for me, I've been to Brazil. I've been to DR. I don't have to, I could go get what I want. And
you let them know this up front before you get into any relationship with them, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, after, I transitioned into
they already know that. Now, in your case, now that you're married, you got your dime piece wife at home.
Right. Beautiful.
Seeing her as competition because they know that she's the number one spot. Or am I getting that wrong? Because is there like a ranking system with your wives? Like your first wife is the senior wife, next one's more subordinate? Are they all the umbrella of God, man, woman, children?
God, man, women, and children. So let's say I marry my girlfriend in Vegas. She knows she's a number two wife, but she's just she's a wife. She's on the same level as my first wife.
Is she giving you any pushback on being number two?
No, she doesn't give me any pushback on being number two, because she's done the research. She was involved already with a couple. They were a throuple, or what is called a throuple. And she has the experience. She's actually older than me and my wife. She's 48, 48 and gorgeous too. So she has the experience, and the knowledge, to understand. And she'll even tell you herself, yeah, I am a number two, and I don't mind being a number two. But yeah, I have come across that, and it doesn't come out till later. That's the thing. It doesn't come out till
later on.
Right. It doesn't come out till later.
So basically, it's like dating just one woman. Certain things, everyone's on their best behavior when you meet them. You seeing their representative, as Chris Rock used to say, you seeing their representative, but after so many weeks or months, as you're vetting them, because you and your wife are both dating her, as you say.
Right. Yes, we are.
Real shit comes up after a while, right? It's the same thing.
Right. I mean, of course. Well, shit comes up in any relationship. I mean, of course, me and my wife, we have our challenges just like any married couple, but you have to be mentally, if you're going to call yourself a king and wear a crown on your head, you have to be mentally prepared for we're talking about two different individuals, two different personalities, two different human beings, emotional creatures. You have to really be ready for these things. You're practically not just a husband, you're a counselor, you're a listener, you're a guider, you're everything. They think the world of you. Like my wife and my girl, our girl, they think the best of me. I've met my girl's children. My girl has 4 kids. She has 3 grown and one that's almost out of the house. He's a teenage boy. He's an introvert, but he's cool. So they think highly of me, so they expect me to act accordingly. If you want me to be a man, you have to be a woman, period. You have your expectations.
About it. No exceptions.
No, hell no. I'm not accepting. Besides, I wouldn't accept this anyway. Like, I don't just call myself a king just to call myself a king. A lot of brothers run around here, or what I call as niggas, they run around here calling themselves kings constantly and really don't understand
every day in LA
of a king.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm a king just because I have 2 women in my life. No. I'll still be a king regardless because I have principles. I operate in standard. I operate on principle. I pledged to myself that I would be a man. I've never been a follower in my life. So when the world, if we just talking about the world a little bit, when the world says, well, I don't agree with what you're doing, some of the people or most of the people I get that comment from is single motherfuckers themselves. Single females themselves, like, shit, how the
talking the most shit? Yeah.
How you gonna tell me? You know what I'm saying about me? Polygamy is wrong when you don't even have a fucking man in your life, or better yet, when you dealing with a man who you have to take care of. I take care of my wife. Like this our home.
I'm glad you said that, man.
Yeah, like our home. I'm not. Listen,
yeah, as women, I wasn't going to bring it up. I had actually wrote the thing down on a piece of paper. I said, you know what? I was going to ask Ozzy, but now that you said that, I'm going to bring it up. There's a lot of women out there that have all these kids from these different guys out here. They knew the shit when they met them. Yet they expect them to act right. They knew they weren't real men. They weren't material. Even if the guy don't legally marry the woman, he can still be a father to his kids. I know a lot of brothers doing that right now. I know 2 single brothers they're single parents, and their ex-wives are supposed to be giving them money. Like one, she's supposed to pay $100 each, a boy and a girl. It's $200 a month. She can't even do that. You know why? He's not even pissed about it. He's happy just to have his children so he can raise them right. Those 2 kids got to be at least 20 by now.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that I knew this brother, and he's like, he'd rather have it be that way than the kids being with her, and he's paying way more than $200 for 2 kids, and he has to beg to spend time with them. So back to what we're talking about, living your life.
We got to talk about that one more day.
How many women out there they're sharing the same dude? They're sharing the same dude. You can have 4 or 5 women. They're gonna get the same. They can all get pregnant by the same guy. He ain't doing nothing financially for them. Number one. Number 2, he's not in the kids' lives. He's not even being that masculine father figure for them. So what you're doing, you covering all those bases. You there.
Exactly.
So what's your opinion about women who act like that?
Who act like, well, one, if you keeping the father out of the kid's life, I'm gonna be honest with you, you really need to do some soul searching because you ain't shit, for real. I think that's really totally wrong. And then, a lot of women and I'm gonna start in my own family. I got aunties who ain't shit. I got sisters who ain't shit. I'll talk about them. That's just me being honest. I love them, but they ain't shit because all they really wanted was the finances and they really didn't care about the kids. Because what happens is when they grab this child support, the money, which is going through the justice system, which is screwed up for men in the first place. They'll grab all that money when the kid get 18. The kid the child that's now an adult, they don't even care about them no more. They be like, oh, the hell with them. You know, I'm not getting no money from you. I'm not getting anything. And that's when the mother and child relationships fall off. And then the father ain't been around. So then the child might try to reach out to the dad, but the dad can't engage in a relationship with the child because I don't know you. I know of you, but I don't know you. I haven't raised you. I haven't been around. And that makes men look real bad. And I say this honestly, I think in this generation nowadays, men make better parents than the women today, personally.
I believe the same thing.
You know, but see, even still, man, I mean, even still, no matter how much we talk about it, how much we complain about it, you know, I think personally there needs to be we need to take a stand as brothers, as men, and even these sisters. You know, I mean, we stood side by side during the civil rights movement. Men was always on the front line, and the women came behind us because we got arrested. Our brothers got arrested and was thrown in jail. So hey, it was like, hey, my husband is down. I'm gonna pick up where he started. That's where the leadership comes in, because your family mimics what they see. They reflect you. Women reflect, like my women reflect me, you know, and I have to act accordingly. But when it comes to these women who deal with that, man, you know, that's why I say, brothers, you got to be careful who you get involved with, because even in a polygamy situation, you still might meet that one who could be that sorry bitch who could actually, you know, take you for a ride, child support and things like that. That's still a possibility.
I'm glad you said that too. So what about the naysayers, or especially the men, are going to say, what if that happens? I might as well stay with one woman.
Well, I mean, well, again, that's why you take initiative to get to know the person who you're dealing with. Like if they have 2 or 3 kids already, okay, instead of trying to have sex with the woman, and it ain't nothing wrong with that goal either, too. I mean, I'm not saying it should just be your number one priority. There's nothing wrong with you. You're a heterosexual male. I'm attracted to women. You damn right I'm thinking about sex, but it's not my number one priority. I want to know who you are. So if you have a child, or if you have two kids, I want to see how you are with the men who you've dated to have these kids with. I want to see how you interact with them. In my case, my wife has a child. She has my stepdaughter. She's 9 years old. You know, I've seen how they co-parent. So when they co-parent, it's casual. There isn't no government child support system involved. They work it out. You know, they talk, and I was able to be in
the rare.
It's so rare, man. Yeah. But I was able to be the mediator in that situation, because it was this brother's first kid. It was my wife's first kid, and I'm already a part of that system. So I want to be, you know, I want to be able to help out as many brothers and sisters as I could. And I had a chance to have a sit down with this brother, and I was upfront with him about me, about who I am, what I'm about, and where it would help you. Now, he didn't believe it at first until his rank went up in the military, and he started seeing that, okay, well, the more you went up, the more, you know. Instead, we had it all canceled. They set up an allotment. The rest is history. But he's not in the system. He can still grow. He can still advance in the Air Force, because he's in the Air Force, and he can make his
the way you said it. He's in the Air Force.
he can make as much money as he wants and be in.
Your wife didn't gank him for his money. She let him be able to progress, because usually when you get promoted in the military, that your command will take it out.
Yeah, well, your command will take it out. Yeah. But again, that's because I watched my wife. My experiences allowed me to watch my wife. Because again, and I was very blessed to really. I say I'm blessed, you know, because I was on the way out, man. I mean, I talked to you, I talked to Eric about it.
Yeah, you power.
And I was
surprised you got married. I thought you was gone.
Listen, I had sold all
my country.
No, listen, I sold all my stuff. I had a 55-inch plasma screen TV, couches. I had my spot. I was great. I got rid of it until I got the offer to come to Georgia because I leaked from a 9 to a 12 promotable. So it was like, oh man, I'm still young.
Y'all watching this, GS9 is the government rating for, GS9 is a really good money. GS12 is outstanding money. So this brother, most of us jump 1 or 2 grades. Like when I was I went from 11 to 12. He went from 9 to 12. So that is awesome. Everybody doesn't get to do that. I want people to know that, to understand what the GS means, the general schedule rating for pay of government employees. The brother he's exceptional. So,
you know what? Normally I tell people to stay out of my pocket, but I put them in it so I can't be mad.
Neither, but ours, I know when this broadcast is over, because if they too much of callers to come into the live stream and ask you directly questions, they'll wait till our live stream's over and they'll comment on YouTube saying, "What about this? What about that? How much does he make?" Well, yeah, I just told them, because you started off with, "No, you ain't no scrub, neither is your wife. Y'all financial together."
No, we are successful. We are very successful.
Thank you.
We own our property. We own a condo in another country. We're working on a second property in
all because of the lifestyle, right?
Well, because of my lifestyle, absolutely. Because if I'm going to have a big family, it requires a bigger home. I have a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. So, you know, and here, this is, you see the elephants in the background. This is really supposed to be my son's room, but he sleeps in a room with me and my wife. But we have our guest room, and then our daughter has our room. So we have a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. But my wife drives a really nice vehicle. And again, I'm not bragging. I'm not a bragger. I'm just telling you what the Most High has done for me, and I ain't got no shame in it. My wife only flies first class. Only first class. Not that we too good to fly economy if I'm going an hour, but if I'm going, like tomorrow, I'll go to California. I'm going to California to see, I'm going back to the Bay to go see my mom and my grandparents, who's never met my son, and nor I haven't seen them in almost 2 years. But the thing is, I'm flying only first class. I have shuttles coming. I don't go to a shuttle point. A shuttle comes to my house and pick me up and drop me off at the door and brings me back. I'm not just, renting. I don't like, my wife is not allowed. I don't allow my wife to, fly economy. No, we've worked so hard and we build what we have. So she doesn't do that. Say again.
Heaven right now. You're not waiting to die to get your heaven. You get
no, but well, you have to, because you only have one life to live. Why waste it? I mean, yes. If you spend your money conservatively, you use your money conservatively. But when I met my wife, okay, beautiful woman, love my wife. I still love her. Shout out to my wife, Izzy. I love you, baby. And my girl, Jazz, I love you too. But the thing is my wife, like, she drives BMW, for an example. She was living off of income that didn't belong to her for a lifetime. It wasn't a residual income. It was just the income that was going to last for so long. But see, she likes to live in a safe place. She didn't grow up poor like me. I grew up Oakland. I grew up in a hood. So
South Central, New Jersey for me, yeah.
Okay, okay, I know about Jersey, North Brick, Trenton. I know.
The bricks,
Brick City. Now, but listen,
LA, it wasn't no joke back in the 70s. I understand.
But
your woman was used to having a little bit more than.
Is she, and that's fine. But see, me, I know in like where I'm from, she couldn't make it. She'll flip. So I love my wife enough to accept her for who she was. And plus, it was the lifestyle I was trying to get to anyway. So she was kind of sort of up, but behind. So she was a 7, but she, so I'm like, okay, when I came into her life, we put together a plan. I told her, 1, I'm a polygamist. 2, I believe in saving. I don't believe in swiping the credit card all the time. 4, are you submissive? can you submit to this plan I'm about to bring to you? My wife loves Louis Vuitton purses. Them fucking purses ain't cheap. We talking 15, 17 more.
Nothing under a grand.
Never under a grand. And she felt at the time, and that's cool. She feels she deserves a purse once a year. Now, me, when you dealing with me, let me see what because I'm a I love finances. I love money, and I like to make sure everything is where it needs to be. To my calculation, it didn't coincide exactly with her needing a purse every week. So I had to ask her, do you want a purse once a year, or do you need a purse every year? Which one is it? Because if you just and she says, well, I feel I should reward myself every year. I agree. But your finances say that you don't need to be buying a purse every year right now. Your finances say that you need to save more and bring down your debt. Try to have something for yourself, and then we can go there. So that's not me saying no. That's just me saying right now, when I came into her life,
they call it delayed gratification.
Right, delayed gratification. Exactly.
You'll get the pocketbook, just wait a little bit, but down the ways.
Well, yeah, but see, she took it as if, because her mama used to give her $1,200 allowances every month because she was a master chief in the Air Force. So, I mean, the chief master sergeant. So, and her stepfather was too. So they had paper. She's had maids,
EA?
E9.
Really?
Her mom and her stepdad were E9s in the Air Force. They had paper, so she had maids. She drew paper. My wife had a BMW at 16, and her allowances was 4 figures. So it was like, wait a minute. And when I was growing up, I had maybe 5, 10. Right. I had my first job when I was 12 at the Boys and Girls Club, $40 every 2 weeks. So in my mind, when I was
13 for me, I was moving furniture at 13.
Hey, look, where the hell you been at? Because I could have used some of that. I always tell it. I always mess with. I'll be like, hey, well, where the hell was you at? And then I'll be like, oh, okay, I know why. I'm about 8 years older than you. So by the time you was 17, I was, I was the 20s. Nah, I'm not no pedophile. I'm cool. But anyway, man. So she was used to these things. Let me get back to it. She was, used to buying these purses, and then when I told her, I said, no, your finances doesn't reflect what you're supposed to be doing. I stopped her. I said, no, you're not. If we're in a relationship, no purses, period. And then I'm not asking you, I'm telling you what's going on. That's another thing too. I'm not afraid to tell neither one of my ladies no. The answer is no. Not not right now. You can't have
brothers out there who are afraid. Come up with all the excuses of why they can't. I'm not gonna say rule with an iron fist. Well, that's what I like saying. That rule with
an iron fist. It
doesn't mean that you being violent with you.
Nah, not even. I respect my wife, man.
Period.
No, I respect
you get it when it's economically feasible to get it. You don't need it now. It's like saying, do you want or do you need it? So I'm glad you said that. You got out there who got one wife who can't tell them no. They got one they can't say no.
No, and you know what? I know brothers like that, and nothing against them. You know what I'm saying? I got no problem. I don't fuck with brothers like that. I socialize with them. Like we'll in passing, or we'll talk every now. Like I know a couple guys like that. And in the end they'll say, well, I just respect my wife. Okay, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying disrespect your wife, but you got to understand. To me, when my wife married me and when my girl Jazz got with me, okay, listen, I'm not saying no. I'm saying no for the future, right? Because we're heading somewhere. There's a blueprint that I drew out, that I went over with you, that you agreed to. You submitted to this blueprint. I'm going to do my part. You need to do your part. In a polygamy setting, that's what is required. Even in a monogamous situation, it's required. You are responsible as a man. I don't give a damn who you are to make sure your family get where they need to go, where you have to get them to a sense of peace, freedom. Freedom. That's what it's about for me. It's about freedom. I don't want my wife to be. I don't. Hold on. Let me.
Debt, brother. It's hard.
I'm not just wanting my wife to get one purse a year. I want to get it to a point where we're financially so well off that my wife can get a purse any damn time she wants. Go ahead, because my wife. Let me tell you, my wife had decent credit. Her credit score is perfect. She got A1 credit now. Her debt, she had nothing saved in her bank account. What you think? Because of me, my bank account is super high. Her debt went low. Our bank account went high. Just got her a new BMW just recently, X4. You know what I'm saying? Just recently, just got a new X4 right off the lot. She didn't. She's never traveled abroad before until she met me. Made her get I said, okay, get a passport. Why? Because guess what? We're not just going to travel to Vegas. Fuck Vegas. I've been to Vegas, so not necessarily fuck Vegas. Vegas okay, but I've been doing Vegas since I was
out there. But still,
I just done. Listen, man. Listen. I've timed out on Vegas, New York, Texas, Alabama. I was born in Cali, LA.
Besides Vegas and Atlantic City, you got places overseas that you can do that.
Why? Okay, so in my mind, when I open, even our girl Jazz, she hasn't even been out the country. What the hell you think I got her doing right now? Okay, hey, listen, I need to get a passport because we're about to go somewhere, and I'm about to introduce you to a whole different outlook on life, a whole different world compared to what.
Now, I didn't ask you this. Do y'all do one woman at a time, or would you take on several? I'm calling her a candidate.
No, go ahead. No, she'd be a candidate. It's fine. I know what you mean.
You do one at a time, or would you take on several? Because after this video, you might have some women looking at you. Your inbox might be filling up. So,
well, I mean, I got to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I myself probably wouldn't want no more than probably 3 or 4. You know.
Okay. And why?
Well,
give us the pros.
Because I know my. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mark. I apologize.
No, I'm really what you about to say. Give us the pros and cons of dealing with several at one time like that. Say after this ends, this broadcast ends, you go look at your little inbox. It's filled to the brim.
Okay. Well, the pros of it is, like I said, one, it's all about love to me. I think we were all created to love one another. You know, now me, I don't really quite take on a religion, but I do believe in Christ and I do believe in the Most High God. You know, so someone would definitely tell me. The last teaching I was taught by was the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. You know what I'm saying? You know, shalom to all my brothers, but then again, there was some things that I just didn't agree with, so I just stepped away from it. So instead of just supporting religion, I just say I believe in God and Christ. But anyway, let me go ahead and fiddle into your question,
brother.
The thing, the pros, like I said, if women are naturally looking for a man, not no male. Not a male. I'm a man. You a man. Eric's a man. You know what I'm saying? If you desire a man, that's a pro to me on your part, because you know a man is, like I always say, which is the 3, or what I call is the 3 elements and keys to what a man should be, which is a planner, a provider, and a protector. Okay, the pros of it on my part is that, one, I'm going to teach you how to be humble, or you should already be humble. That's the benefit of it, is being humble to one another. No matter how much you make or how much you don't make, you know, I want, you know, in the end, the pros is being humble for what you already have. So even though that me and my wife are very successful and we have GS jobs through the government, you could be a woman who works at McDonald's or Burger King. So those are the pros that you get out of it. You add more, you know, to your quality of life. You have a higher quality of life. Those are the pros to polygamy. You also, if you the type of person who like to teach curriculums and you have children, you can do homeschooling for your children. You can also have greater support. Some women, and the pros of being in a polygamous situation, some people don't even get along with their relatives. Like me, I have a whole lot of family, but I don't get along with them. So I sit at the head of my own. I sit at the head of my own with my wife. I sit at the head of my own with my girl. So those are the pros to it. And we're not in competition with one another. No one's in competition. We all love each other, which is a circle of love and respect comes into play. You will have the pros is having sisterhood. As a man, I feel that we need nurture, especially even now. We have a hell of a lot to deal with outside in the world right now. This is the sanctuary for me. This is a sanctuary for my wife. We talk about our days, we talk about our issues, but we leave it all, but we heal at home. We feel right at home. On top of that, you'll never have, the pros is the cash. Like I said, family is business. Family is business. So you have greater cash flow that way. That's an income that'll never stop. So the pros is one person falls off, another person can pick back up until that person gets back on. I'm not just a project manager. I also have a Class A license. I also have a guard card to be a security guard if I need to, because I have military experience. I have an HR background if I need to tap into that. I also know how to cut grass. I know how to go out and grind and get it. But that's just the pros of having a man. A woman, you'll have what they call as a what's the word I'm looking for? It's pretty much unconditional love from everyone, not just from the adult side of it, but from the children's side of it too.
It ain't the same for us men, though. We got conditions for us. Like you said, you got several hustles in case you fall off from your main job. But women and children, they get unconditional love. That is true.
They get unconditional love, and you got to remember, to me, if my wife lost her job right now, if she quit it, to me, it's cool for her to do that. We'll talk about, like, if she just come to me right now and say, or my girl, babe, I want to quit my job. I really just don't feel comfortable about it. Okay, well, let's put together a plan. What do you want to do? My wife is just not, she just don't hold a career just in the GS field. She's also a mental health counselor, certified. So we have a business in that too, or we're looking to start a business in that. My wife also loves fashion. I'm about ready right now to go out and try to find someone at a fashion school, see if we can work with them to get a clothing line, because my wife can dress. My wife is beautiful, and then.
Brother, both of y'all dressed to the nines, so.
Oh, appreciate it, bro. Yeah, you know what? I know I'm off right now because this is quarantine time.
I'm sure that the fashion will take off right away. But go on.
Yeah, you know me, man. I always had a shirt and tie. Hard bottoms, and I could do a casual style. But anyway, my stepdaughter, she loves to write books. I've already talked to a publisher about publishing her books. She's written 3 books for kids already, 20 pages each book. So I'm pushing my I call her, she's my stepdaughter, but I call her my daughter because she is my daughter, and I love it.
Interview on my other show, Writer's Block. I call it kids where I interview filmmakers, and writers and authors. So purposes a book, let me know, man. I interview her.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, as soon as we get everything. Well, again, that's part of polygamy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's being a supportive parent, but that's the pros to it. Now, when the pros come in, as far as the support, you have to support your children. So if you have children, your children will be supported along with you supporting them. This is a family thing. It's not an individual thing. There's no I in team. It's all of us. Now the cons to it. Let's not lose focus. The cons.
Oh, here we go. Why this? Okay, go on.
Okay. The cons is that you could possibly meet an angel in disguise. So me, I know people have used their common sense. Me, I'm not just book smart, I'm street smart. I was street smart before I was book smart. I was what they call a nigga before I was a man. I was a male before I was a male first before I became a man. I just had dreams and I had a goal to reach to becoming a man. So sometimes you might get that woman who you think is into it. Like case in point, I met a young lady. She was beautiful, gorgeous from Florida. She had it all down to a science of what polygamy actually is. She knew her role, everything, just as good as my girl Jazz know now. And she would have been perfect except one thing: her mouth, her fucking mouth. And she knew right off the rip that her and me, that we would get into it because I don't like to put my sign in front of it. I just don't take no bull. I just don't take no bullshit. I tell it like it is. And if you don't like it, then you got a problem. For some reason, the world is so hung up on, you know what? A lie is the new truth and the truth is a new lie. You know, or being a factual based person is not always cool. So she knew and I knew that we would clash all the time. So she had this thing where she wanted me to chase her. And I'm sorry, I don't chase a motherfucking thing. I don't chase buses or women. I don't chase you. Why would I chase you? You know, especially when the eyes of women is so high and the numbers of men is so low. I don't have to do all of that. Even if it was even, I still wouldn't do that because I shouldn't have to chase you. My job is to find you. As they say, according to Proverbs 18:22, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Yes, I have a wife and I'm going to be courting another and maybe 2, 3 more. So I'm supposed to find you. And when we find each other, you're not supposed to run away from me. I shouldn't have to chase you. No men should have to chase you and vice versa. But those are the cons is sometimes in a polygamy setting, because sometimes they just want to find out how much you love them. So, you know, and they want to see if you'll go through what it is, which is some unnecessary bull crap that they'll put you through for their emotions, you know, just to make sure their emotions remain intact and you love them.
Like is there like do you put like a time limit on how long you would say the one you're talking about now, or not talking about, excuse me, the one you and your wife are talking to now, the ones that you're dating now, the one, do you guys put a time limit on it to when you can make your decision whether she's going to become part of the family, or is it just, you just keep it organic? There's no time limit. If it happens, it happens.
Well, no, there's no time limit. I mean, I didn't have a time limit with my wife. I don't think love should be a time limit. It shouldn't be a time limit on love. You know, I didn't make a decision that I was going to like my wife one day, care about her the next, and then love her next week. No, if I love my wife, even within 24 hours, I love my wife. Now, most people, a lot of people, they'll be like, no, that's too quick. Well, hell, I'm not promised tomorrow. You're not promised tomorrow. So what's too quick or too late? What's the point of waiting? You know, if that's the way you feel and the feeling is mutual, you should just proceed and go along with it, you know. But speaking of more time limit, there's no time limit as far as where we're planning to, or where I'm planning to marry her. My goal really is to see, even though we're talking great, the phone conversations are awesome, the video conversations are even awesome, but it's different when you're in person. I have to get you here in front of me to see how you interact with my kids, our children, excuse me, me and my wife, children. I have to see how I interact with yours, which I've already interacted, but I've never interacted with them in person. So we have little kids. I have a 5-month-old and a 9-year-old that live here. So in that situation, me and my wife will go have a date night, see how the kids take to our girl. Then I would see how she would, you know, gravitate to us individually, and then as a married couple, go out with Izzy, see how my wife, see how things are. For the record, my wife's name is Izzy. How we are on a date, you know, and then how we're out together, you know, for an example, the world, people can be so, you know, so violent that if I go out, man, and I don't need no woman who trying to get into some mess with a dude. You know, like my wife Izzy, my wife isn't, she's not confrontational. She's not a violent person. She's a classy lady. You know, I don't even think that she knows how to, you know, protect herself, sort of. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, she might, you know, of course, if someone's trying to harm her, them instincts will take over, but that's not her job to protect herself. That's my job. And anybody step to my wife, you know, and I ain't no gangster, I ain't never been one, never tried to be one. I'm a man, but best believe, I don't know, you step to mine, we're going to have a problem, and a problem you can't walk away from. And I do mean that. I take that serious because I love my wife. My wife is my pride and joy. She is my gift. She is my world. She is my earth. I look at my girl as the same way, and I love them both. And at the end of the day, you know, I need to make sure that my girl, she knows how to handle, for an example, a man who might be interested in her, and if she's classy enough to reject him until I feel I have to intervene to come in and say, hey, listen, brother, you need to walk, or talk to him, buy him a drink, and then we go on about our business in a classy way. You know I'm giving a little scenario and I'm sort of talking in third person, but that's just what
keep it up.
Okay, I just don't agree with my women fighting in the public or displaying their emotions in the public. You know, now I think personal issues are meant for being at home, and that's it. So those you know, so just making sure, but that's a possibility that you might meet a woman like that as far as a con in a polygamous setting. You know, like my girl Jazz, she once believed in that. Oh, I'll help. I'll do whatever. I ain't gonna let no nigga talk to me crazy. No. Stop right there.
So basically, she's saying I'm a ride or die chick. Right? Basically,
I'm a ride or die chick, and I'm not okay. And I need you to ride or die, but I need you to ride or die for what's at home. I need you to ride or die. I don't need you. But when we in the public, I need you to be an image of me because I'm an image of you. I'm a reflection of you. We're a reflection of each other. And me and my wife don't get into any physical altercations out in the public. You know, we've been out so many times and we never have. But then again, it's where we hang out at. We don't go to, you know, places where the possibilities of, you know, that there's going to be fights and stuff like that. Some ghetto little motherfuckers who just want to slap a girl and really and blatantly disrespect your woman. I go to classy places. I go to salsa clubs. I go to lounges, you know, and there's another con for you. You might not want to, but sometimes you might have to. Go through a process of someone who may not agree with your process. You know, you might like them, they may not like you, but that's just the challenge, and you got to help them see. You have to counsel them better, you know, in a way. But, you know, or sometimes they'll tell you that, you know, this is possible too. They might say they have it all. You believe it, you get them here, and the shit is bogus. I've never had that problem. I never had that problem because I'm real careful.
Everybody's selling wolf tickets until the time to get
like she might say she might know how to fry chicken
things, and when the shit comes up, when it's time, might be like,
listen, Mark, I met women who didn't actually know how to fucking make a sandwich. I'm not lying to you. For real, I met women who didn't know how to make a sandwich. I met women, you know, who never been out on a date that required a reservation. I've met women, you know, who feel that the club dress
was appropriate
for a botillion or a conference or a lounge. You know, I met that's why I said, brothers, get to know who you're talking to, who you're dating. It's cool. Make your point, put your stamp on your point.
Basically, the rules kind of match when you in a monogamous relationship with one woman. You got one woman or several women, those same rules apply. You got to vet her, basically. Vet her.
Well, yeah, because you
have any regrets, man, because I'm like, I'm loving this, and I'm loving how you ending this on love. I mean, you talked about how y'all borrowing, you're making your money, your investments, everybody's making money, but you kind of said it, you smoothed it out, saying, I love my wife. That's my woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And that's what I want the women out there hearing is to see. And you're
Right.
gonna both of them. Now, the question they may ask, who's getting more love and all that, that's so subjective because I know I'm with one woman, okay, and she may get on my nerves one day, and I may be thinking some real, like, I'm angry at her, but I still love her. Now, you too, possibly you may have 4 in the future, 3 or 4. You're gonna have to do the same thing for them. Is basically what you're saying. Your workload is just magnified, but how you handle it now is basically the same as you would with one woman. You're just gonna do it with
Exactly. You handle all your well, of course. I mean, one issue at a time, one problem at a time. If the key other than communication is never letting the sun go down on a problem. You never do let the sun, like, even when me and my wife, like, I don't go to bed mad with my wife. I don't sleep on couches. You know what I'm saying? I don't sleep on couches.
Couches are not for sleep.
I listen, I pay my mortgage. I pay my mortgage. You understand? My wife doesn't pay the mortgage. She pays a little other thing.
Yeah, you sleeping on any funky couch. You say,
yeah, but again, I mean, I put the roof over my wife's head. We got this home together, but it was the down payment from her husband that made that happen. I was able to buy the house. My wife was able to turn it into a home. There's a difference.
And that's their role.
That's her role. I'll get you the house. That's
their role.
Yeah, I'll get you whatever house that you wanted. And on top of that, going back to some of the pros, man, a lot of ladies have to believe, like, my wife has an attorney for any situation. We live in the state of Georgia. The open carry laws and the possibilities. My wife may not be, she probably not be physical, but we got that trigger finger.
And their grounds out there
no, but not just stand your ground. There's council law too. A lot of people don't know about council law. That, because you got some of these bum broads who will try to follow you home and try to get into some shit with you. Like I said, with me and mine,
got something for them.
No, and that's one of the things, I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, I know we're talking about polygamy, but sometimes I worry about my wife getting into some shit with some of these ratchet bitches because, seriously, I'm gonna be real. I told my wife, you call me, you lock the door.
Not the police.
No, me. Fuck
no. Yeah.
Nothing against the police. I got nothing against all I know we had a crazy time right now, but seriously, man, I got absolutely nothing against all police officers. I just got some against them assholes who do stupid shit. But
exactly,
my wife is the call. And seriously,
I tell my girl the same thing. The police there are to enforce law. That's it. They investigate crime. They don't prevent them. So I'd rather have her call me if I'm available. I have a younger brother, 2 years apart. If you can't get me, call my brother, call some male in my family to get there instead of sometimes we have a personal investment in the safety of the women in our lives. And like you said, you got good police, you got shitty police out there, but I'd rather have my woman call me.
And again, I want your audience to keep in mind, I'm not a thug, I'm not a gangster. I never have been, never sold a cough drop, and don't plan on it. You understand? So if there's some shit that goes down between my wife in the public eye, and if it's 3 chicks or 3 dudes, I'll pull up. I'm not asking no questions. It's either the hands, the back, or the trigger finger. That's just it. Now, I mean, say I'm incriminating myself or whatever, but at the end, I love my queen.
You letting them know, like, if push comes to shove.
Yeah.
If a woman's calling you, basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, if your woman's got to call you, that means that's like she had to break glass in case of emergency. The fact that she had to call you, that means that the shit hit the fan.
Right. Well, I do that because my wife she carries. We legally carry. And to me,
she had the same intent as a man. Because I'm in California. I wish we had better gun laws. I love the weather in California when it's not burning down with forest fires. But they got some draconian gun laws.
You
sucks.
they
But
do. They
at least you're in a state where you can open care, you can have concealed care permit. The cancer law, you want to protect your home. You got no issues with that. Here in California, something goes down like that, I got to worry about if the guy breaks into my crib, right? And if I shoot him on the way out, leaving, if I get him in the back, I might be liable for his medical.
Well, there's
I might get in jail for that shit.
There's ways around that. There's ways around that. I'll talk to you about it offline.
Yeah, don't say the shit now.
But listen. No, but again, man, my wife has an attorney. My wife has an accountant. My wife has stocks. She has cryptocurrency investments long term. We're day traders too. You know what I'm saying? So my wife has skills. She has things but not only I'm teaching this stuff to my wife and not we're doing it, but I'm teaching it to my girl. I'm teaching it to her kids. Like I've talked to her children. One of my girl's daughters is into Robinhood, which is a day trading platform. Mm-hmm. We get into conversations about it all the time, and she always asks me, "What should I put my money in this? Oz, what is this?" I'm like, "No, don't put it here. Put it here." Like for an example, I told her to sign up with an E-Trade account. Because of the pandemic. What happened? Delta stocks tanked. Now it's going back up. 23, 27 million people losing jobs. The economy is going bad. But again, I teach this to not just my wife. I also teach this to children. Like if a woman, my lady Jazz, she has her kids. So I talk to them all. We're moving to a digital society now. Paper cash is going away. Change is going away. Nobody wants to touch cash anymore because they're scared they're going to get sick, or it's just paper.
Now, a digital society, and with this pandemic going on right now, the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people losing their job. A lot of those jobs are from women in the service sector. So would it just make economic common sense for these women to be more down with polygamy now than ever? Just an opinion. I think they should, but
I think they should.
You think that it makes more sense now?
I think it makes more sense, but let me go more in depth on why, other than just, for financial economic purposes. Let's start. This is something I told Eric, and I think I told you too, but I'm going to go ahead and say it again. Okay. 100% of males, right? We're going to break this down. 50% of the male population, the men population or males, are incarcerated or dead. Maybe let's say 60 now, because the numbers are higher. Would you agree with this?
I don't know the stats. I know the stats.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what my stats are.
60. I know the stats are high. Yeah.
Okay. I'm saying it's 60%. Then you have another 20%, which brings it to 80 of nothing but homosexuals, transsexuals, or in the closet brothers. Period. Okay. I live in Georgia. I'm an hour and a half from Atlanta. I had seen this one video where this lady said, I don't have a problem with my LGBTQ community, but gay men, could you please leave a pinch of dick? This is a woman on social media begging for this, man. I was like, I laughed at it. I sit there and
I'm trying to picture it on the screen reader that, like,
she was a beautiful sister too, man. It was just, I was like, whoa. I laughed because it was funny because it's so true.
Just a pinch, motherfucker.
You said just a pinch. I was laughing. So, okay, so that's 80%. So let's bring it to this 10% of what I call is young-minded grown men. Young-minded grown men means that they come in a disguise as them being men, but they're not men. They might drive a nice car, they might have some money, but they live at home with their mama. They might take out your trash, but they don't pay the trash bill. And guess what? Them are some of the brothers that's messing with the transsexuals. You know what I'm saying? Or the homosexuals, for real.
And you do live in the ATL, so
I
yeah.
don't live in ATL. I live an hour and a half away from it. You know what I'm saying?
You see it more often there, right?
Well, I mean, I was in Buckhead before I was in ATL. So, I mean, technically speaking, I was in ATL, and we used to live across the street from the Phipps Mall, which is a more high-end mall, you know, and then you got the Lenox Mall, which is the hood mall, but they have some really high-end stores. At the Lenox Mall, oh man, I got a story for you, man, but it ain't for this, man. Oh, fuck,
Next time.
it fucked me up though when I see it. Oh my God, I want to. Huh? Okay. All right. So those are the dudes who's messing with them, or those are usually the males that women settle for. They usually settle for those dudes because they the thugs, they the dudes who don't have a really good dress code. They really don't know how to converse well. They can't hold a conversation. Their responses are usually just one-time responses. How's your day? Cool. What you doing? Nothing. And most sisters pick these dudes. So let's go with the 20%, which is let's chop this in half. You have a 10% of brothers who was obviously married, like myself, but those that are in a monogamous situation aren't even quite marrying the women in the United States of America. They're going abroad and picking wives. They're not marrying women over here. I don't give a fuck how fine you think you are. I don't care how thick you think you are. I don't care I don't give a shit about all of that. Men, brothers I know in my circle, real men, they don't give a fuck about, because they already know beauty stretches is beyond the surfaces of the United States soil. What the fuck am I wasting time with you? Like your Cardi B bullshit and your Nicki Minaj plastic hoe bullshit. Ain't no men, there's no men that's really gravitating to that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, brothers, don't roll with that. Don't just be acceptable just because she thinks she the ish. You might be the ish in your town or where you from, or even in your head. That ain't gonna get you no husband. But again, brothers or men in general aren't even marrying them. Or if they are, they just marrying them for show. That's it. I married my wife for love. I was on my way out.
I remember.
I was on my way out. I was on my way to the Philippines. I was on my way to Brazil. I was going to be a nomad. I was just going to live in various countries, do my thing with multiple women in polygamy until I built what I wanted, and then I was going to push forward. But the 10%, which brings it to 90. Okay, so here's the other 10%, which is what's left. Okay, this is 100 now. These brothers are not even approaching women in the States. They're too intimidated. You know what I mean? They could be a really good man, a good wholesome man who has it going on. He has a career, he has retirement plan, he has all of these things. But you know, a lot of women put these standards on these brothers, man. And it's funny how when some of them do that shit, how the fuck you gonna say a man need to make 6 figures and have this when you ain't got shit yourself? How you gonna say that how you gonna say he needs to have this when you work at Walmart? How you gonna say that he needs to drive this when you ain't got a bus pass to your name? The fuck out of here, man. Not me. But those brothers right there, they're available and they're lost. They don't know. So when they get a king like me, damn right I'm a king. Yeah, I'm saying I hear when I probably hear somebody in your audience say, "No, you not, kiss my ass." I am if you don't talk.
No, I'm like I have a woman that's wants to talk to you about it. You know, because I was about to wrap the show up, but
I'll talk to any available individual if they want to talk about it. But anyway, let me finish this.
No doubt. All right.
Okay, the last 10% are so scared. They're so intimidated because they get fed. And I'm not saying all women in America like this. Is just a majority. I feel. I never played those games. You're not gonna run game down on me. I'm sorry. I just don't accept it. But a lot of these brothers, they're intimidated by these women and they won't even approach them. So hopefully they run into a brother like me, like yourself, and maybe a couple others who had these experiences. And in the end, I don't think when you meeting somebody, it should be that hard. I think conversation should just be conversation, you know. But that's 100% of the male population. And the thing is a lot of ladies don't see that because of the fact is they dealing with that 20% of Negroes out there who basically just chase their ass and hound them down and hound them down and hound them down to where they feel like, okay, all men think alike. No, baby, not all men think alike.
Like y'all,
It's not, yeah, because seriously, it's not about,
y'all all like this.
yeah, it's not about that box. Not for me. Not for my wife knows that. My girl knows that. Women, people I know in the polygamy community know that. I know plenty of couples who are in a polygamist situation. I know some in a polyamorous situation. And guess what? If you really think about it, if you Google this, monogamous marriages intend to end a lot quicker than the polygamous. Look
right?
what's going on.
55%, right? And
right.
Yeah.
Well, I heard it was like 62 now, but if we can work.
You know what, Oz? I always add 5 or 10 more percent on just to, I don't know if
right.
55. Right. I'm gonna say 65 or maybe more.
Right. Because but think about it. But look about it. Think about it. Think about it. Look what's going on. Cardi B just is in the process of divorcing her husband. You know what they say? Because he cheated. That's because that little dude Offset, you know what I'm saying? He was really a polygamist. That wasn't the first time he been busted. He just dealing with Cardi B. Okay, but then again, why would you deal with a hoe out of a strip club? Get the fuck out of here, man. Nah. And then Dr. Dre, hold on. Dr. Dre.
I'm thinking he thinking because her ass she really blew up financially. He thought maybe she was different, but he's sadly mistaken now.
I think, well, again, this goes back to what I said earlier. I think most men who think about being with multiples of women should consider polygamy because at least guess what? For the people who disagree with it, at least I'm promoting love. At least I'm promoting marriage. At least I'm promoting people who are down with it. Because if you can accept the LGBT community, then damn it, I know you can accept what the hell I got going on. Because you know, or if you can, you know, really, but at least I'm promoting these things. Now, I'm not saying monogamy is bad. You could do monogamy if it was work for you. I mean, I hope you make it. More power to you.
You know what? It's some brothers who can't deal with one woman. So some brothers need to be by themselves if they're going to be honest. They're going to do an honest self-assessment of themselves. Some don't need multiple women. Some don't need one. Some need to just chill and get their act together. And maybe as they get to a certain level, then maybe they can come back to get
well, to me, a woman is not meant to be dealt with. I don't deal with my women. I don't deal with them. I love them. I'm not. They'll say, "Oh, you can't handle a black woman." The fuck you mean? You wasn't created to be handled. Period. I don't care which way they see it. I say, "Oh, I'm a strong black woman." Well, what's strong to you? Nicki Minaj is strong. Nicki Minaj
on there. I don't know any strong women. I know women who say they strong.
No, they say it
when the shit. I mean, you know where we used to work, so I'm sure they had a lot of alphabet people there. Okay, mostly female side, and they had a lot of daggers chicks there that were in charge. You know that now.
Hey,
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Remember all the classes we had to attend that were mandatory training?
Y'all work for BOR.
Mandatory. We had to do this every year to keep our job. We had to attend these classes either online or or attend one of those little funky seminars they'd have whatever they have, the LGBTQ month or whatever, a whole month of that shit. You had to attend that class. I mean, I just grinned and bare it. I knew I had to keep my job, but personally, I'm thinking like they would never have a class on what you and I are talking about now.
But see, that's exactly why you do polygamy. Like me, I don't plan on working past 50. That's why you have polygamy. You have polygamy so you don't have to work. Like me, I have 2 businesses on top of that. I have a business that I help vets with their I help because I'm a vet myself. U.S. Army whore. I help vets with their claims. I help people get certifications if they need it. Certification
in the IT field, right? Or
in
they
the
want
IT field. I also right now I'm currently working on an app. You know, I'm working on a comedy app because I like comedy. So I'm already talking to a software engineer right now. We're working out the numbers to see if we can get that app so he can create the app for me, or so we can at least work together on it, because I think it's going to be a cold hitter. And when that come out, I'll let you know what that is. But again, but again, I'm not just I work for the government and I have a career. I don't have a job. I have a career. So I'm working towards not working for anyone, where I would actually work for myself, where my money is making money for itself, and I don't have to, do these 9 to 5s, and stuff like that. Even though I'm blessed to have a career, I still want to work towards of really being my own boss and doing my own thing. Oh, and another thing too, I'm an actor. I've done some actual extra work. I was also in a Class C movie, like a low budget film. It wasn't no budget in that, but you know what? I actually had some lines to say to build my experience.
fun, man.
I mean, there's just so many things that I feel that I'm actually trying to get out of my system, or at least try. Because again, you never know it until you try it. Polygamy, that's something to try. That's something worth doing. That it's nothing wrong. I mean, especially if you're a female who likes women too. If I'm just saying, if you're a female who likes women, okay, hey, and you like dudes, you're bi. Okay, then instead of hiding it, just be involved, be in a polygamous situation.
I'm glad you brought that up, man. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I'm glad you said that, because there's a lot of women out there. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking back on half the women, maybe even more than half the women I've had relationships with over the years. I'm thinking half of them or more might have been bi, and I never really took it serious. Just things. I mean, just the longer you're with the woman, you see it in them. But you're in a relationship, you just don't bring it up. You don't think, you bring it up. Sometimes they get an attitude like,
I bring up everything. I don't give a damn.
If you just come straight out and ask them,
yeah, it's a question.
They pretend to get offended, and how could you think I would do that? I mean, it's like, so and that's a monogamous relationship. One.
That means if that question is being asked, I think sometimes, a majority of the time, the man wants to be involved with more than one woman. You know what? If that's cool. I mean, if that's what you want to do.
If that works for you.
Now, if it works,
lady, I got waiting, brother.
Say it again.
I got a lady named Kahlie Samsara waiting in the wings. She really wanted to talk to you.
That's cool. She can chop it up with me.
You ready, Kahlie?
Hey, Tawkin, how you doing? I'm just here. Yeah, I wasn't in the show before.
Kahlie, we got a different show tonight. This is on polygamy.
I know, but so we're talking about polygamy, but see, me as a woman, I have many husbands, and so I live the so-called polygamy lifestyle. But from a woman's perspective, because I love to have a lot of great men around me. I got many husbands that I keep many men, I keep many men, and I keep strong men. I build kings, so for me, it's a different thing, to have I can't be married. I can't be tied down to one man. Did they take me out?
No. Is that a question, or is that a...
You're here.
So,
Kahlie,
it's different for me. It's different for me because of what I'm building and what I want to build, and my legacy. And so,
you have a question for the brother, though.
Yeah, and I accept my men, and I let my men keep the women even because they're not my men. They're their own men, and I respect that because I can't keep nobody. And I keep things around me.
All right, let her finish. I want to hear it.
And I want all my men to be happy, be successful, and if they're with other women, that's their choice. And it's because that's something that they want to do, and I'm not going to try to stop them from, being with anybody and having another relationship, because that's all love. They might be getting something from the other person that I can't give them. you know, and it might make them a better person to interact with that person and be out there in that life, you know. You can't just hold anybody back. I feel like you just can't stop. People try to hold people back as, oh, that's your mind, you can't talk to anybody, and you're my husband, and blah, blah, blah. That's nonsense. That's crazy.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna be real with you, love. That response you just gave me, I mean, if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. First of all, that's not a polygamous. I'm not finished, please. Let me finish. Thank you.
Okay.
It's not a polygamous situation. That's a polyamorous situation, because
what's polygamous to you?
Polygamous means that when you are involved with a multiple amount of human beings, but it's closed off. No one else outside of your covenant is allowed within. Polyamorous means that you have it. It's more of an equal level. It's more of, in fact, what you're just describing. Basically, you build kings, what you say you build. And on top of that, I'm not finished. See, you still interrupting me. I'll let you finish. Let me finish.
I'm listening.
Okay, thank you. Like I was saying, a polyamorous situation is more for an equal. It's more equality. Like you have equal say. No one really can dictate exactly the flow of how you're supposed to move. So, like you said, you date who you want to date. They date who they want to date. You don't have any say. Well, I ain't gonna say you don't have any say, or he doesn't. You could put some rules to that, but everybody likes to be pleased a certain way. They might like to be sexed a certain way. They might like the way a certain person look. That's more of a polyamorous situation. Therefore, that's a poly. So you're more, or what is by definition is polyamorous, not polygamous. Okay, and then on top of that, a woman to me, you talking about building kings. First of all, kings are, you know, when you meet a king isn't built. He's already made. Okay, I don't know what kind of so-called kings you're building now. As far as making them better, like my wife makes me a better king. She makes me a better man. I'm already a built king. My girl makes me a better man. They make me a better king. Okay, so if you feel like, now to me, that's, if you gotta build a king from the ground up, to me, that's a little boy to me. To me it is. Okay, I mean,
I got four of them.
Okay.
4 of them.
Okay. You got 4 kings, right? Okay.
Yep.
You got 4 kings. Okay, and out of these kings, right? Let me ask you this question. It's a personal question. Do you own property?
What kind of question is that?
Oh no. Or do you own property? Do you have stocks?
Yeah.
Okay, you have cryptocurrency. Do you traveled abroad before? You gotta ask it to me. You sound a little bit of Australian. Are you sound a little like you're from Australia a little bit.
I need a liar. No, from Australia.
Okay. Oh, you just got an accent. You know, I mean, it could be
Texas. I'm Texas.
Yeah, Austin, Texas. Yeah, I seen your show.
West proper.
Okay, so you said you build kings. Do you build kings by throwing up a mortar array too?
By what?
A mortar array? Like I see. Huh? Like I see. Okay, let me ask you this. Would you I seen your Facebook page, and I seen your interview or the conversation you had with Marcus. Usually that's this song right here, and you saying you the 37 queen. Is that more for Latin queens, or is that just something that you just call yourself?
Honestly, look, it's right there, but you know. Honestly, some things you can't say because
I got you.
I don't need that kind of publicity on me, and people might take it the wrong way.
Okay.
But I'm here, and here I am. Here, I'm. What is the word I'm looking for that I was thinking about? What I put on?
No, you here to just convert.
I'm sovereign. I'm the sovereign ruler of the Indian nation. So I'm sovereign. You know, I'm sovereign here. So blah blah blah. Here I am, sovereign.
Okay.
And I can go on and on about how all this royalty reigns and this and this and that. but I'm here in actually with my people, and I'm not out here just like living like a royalty. No, I'm here with my people, you know.
Okay.
So
okay, so let me.
It's a lot that I represent, and it can't all be told. You know, I can't tell everything.
No, it's cool. It's cool. We'll you know what? We ain't even got to discuss that. Okay, so let's say this, right? Now, your video, right? You said that a nigga, okay, got to spend at least what you call, which I don't know what kind of arithmetic you doing, $1,000 is $1. Or you basically pointed out that that hey, if you want to suck my pussy, you know what I'm saying? You gotta pay. You gotta pay to play. That's what you said in your video. So you
I think you definitely played to play tonight.
That's what you
played to play tonight. I definitely paid to play tonight, and it worked out in a good deal. It was a good deal, you know.
Wait, say it again. I missed that.
I said I definitely paid to play tonight, and it was a good deal. I worked out a good deal, yeah.
Okay, so you promoting hoeing.
No, but I'm a businesswoman.
I'm gonna tell you. Now listen, I know you from Austin, but I'm from the town, from Oakland, California. Okay, and I'm gonna be real with you, love. Okay, you're promoting hoeing to our women. You promoting hoeing, and you call yourself a queen, ma? I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You a borderline bitch to me because of the fact is that you promoting to young girls. I let my daughter, 9 years old, watch your video. You understand? And she even felt at her age. And the reason why I let her watch it is because I'm teaching my daughter to be a real queen. You understand? Now, if you deal with a covenant of motherfucking dudes who really don't know the statistics and how much women are available in the world, then to me, that's up to them. They the suckers, they the lames. But if they're not doing anything for you, I know you an actress, and I hope you, and I wish you well, and I hope you win with that, my love. I really do. But seriously, I seen most of your pictures, and they was in hotels. So were you living in a hotel? This is a question. Were you living in a hotel in LA?
I'm on tour, so I got many places I tour. So we stay in a lot of different hotels.
Okay, so you a hotel rat. So therefore, you know what?
I'm a hotel rat.
My queens, you understand? My queens, we don't do fucking hotel. We don't do, if we do hotels, we're gonna do the Royal Observatory. We're gonna do the Ritz-Carlton. You got 4 kings. They put you in some bullshit. You understand? I'm gonna be look, love. I don't know. I'm gonna be so whatever you got with these so-called kings in your life, they sound like peasants to me. They sound like slaves. My wife will never. If my wife don't just get mediocre shit, she gets the best of things. My girl too. Okay, you got 4 kings. They supposed to be able to make sure they money right, to make sure that you're in the best of situation.
I'll make sure they should.
Like, and then on top of that, you got on the video, you got shorts halfway up to your ass. You showing your cleavage to a stranger. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real. A real king wouldn't even have no respect for you. I'm just keeping it 100. Like, you probably be good to fuck, but you wouldn't be good to marry. I mean, I don't know. I know you got 2 sons. You got 2 beautiful kings. You understand? I did my homework. You got 2 beautiful kings. You do the massage thing. You know, because when you was interviewing with my dude, I known this man for years. I see who the person is. I'm trying to get a background on them. I'm trying to make sure they, you know, who they are. I want to know them. Like, I know what this mean, baby. I know people like that from Brooklyn, from New York, from the Bronx, from Chicago. And I'm not trying to put you out there. I'm just keeping it 100. But I'm gonna be real with you. See, if you my queen, you wouldn't look like that on camera. Your hair be done right. The proper attire for this particular situation will be befitting for it. You understand? You wouldn't be, if you are an actress, I'm gonna be real. You would not. I'm not just trying to get you to get out there and do some extras. I'm trying to get out there to be a better to be a better actress. And then on top of that, as an actress, you would know the market isn't in LA. It's in Georgia. It's in Atlanta for insurance purposes. That's the reason why more films is being filmed in Atlanta than there is in LA. LA is bullshit. So there's some jewels for you right there. Because if you're doing it in LA, you're going about this whole thing backwards. And I'm telling you, I want you to be better than that bullshit you was talking about on the video. I want you.
Which video are we talking about? The last one that we did?
The last one. I thought some of the things I'm gonna tell you, and I usually tell.
It was a topic. It was on topic.
I usually tell 3 positive things about a person before I go in, but I'm gonna tell you. I see you borderline want that husband who believes in chivalry, who is a man of quality. Part of me says you want that, and part of me, but you was promoting more hoeing than you did.
How is that promoting being a hoe? If I'm gonna get my value, I'm worth something. I got value, and I value myself in any situation that I'm in. I'm gonna get my values worth, and it's not about hoeing. It's not about hoeing. I've never been a hoe. I've never promoted hoeing, but I'm gonna get my bread. I'm gonna get my bread how I get it, and it has nothing to do with me fucking you.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You asked me a question, so let me respond. Okay, first of all, my wife ain't hoeing. My girl ain't hoeing. My wife got 2 real estates working on the 3rd. My wife has an attorney. My wife has an attorney for any situation. My wife has an accountant. My wife has stocks. She has cryptocurrencies. She has skills. This fucking degree that hangs up there on that wall behind me that you see is because her husband pushed her to it. And guess what? My wife doesn't travel on no bullshit ass Spirit. We don't do that hood shit. My wife travels Delta, United. She international traveler. And at the end of the day, love, at the end of the day, I'm trying to talk to you. Hey, see what I'm talking about? See, hey, Mark, I'm wasting my time, Mark. I'm trying to talk.
I'm here. I'm listening to you.
Hey, I'm listening to you. Okay, well, listen. I'm gonna tell you. Well, listen. No, I got it, Mark.
All right, now see, Kahlie.
No.
The video he's talking about, Kahlie, was the one that we did like a little over a week ago. The lame excuses women give for holding the pearl hostage. That's what he's talking about.
That's right.
That we had.
So it was a talk. It was a talk show. It was a topic, and so we was on topic. We was just doing our thing. I was just on topic, and it was a good show. But honestly, holding when we was talking about holding a pearl hostage, he was asking me a question. I was giving him an answer.
I know you were giving them answers, love, but let me tell you, these are obviously your answers that hit your head, or what you feel, correct? That's how you feel to the questions that he asked, right?
Not necessarily. Some of them are, not all answers are just my answers. So some answers are just good answers that I heard.
Okay, but so wait a minute. You mean to tell me? Okay, but either way, you said good answers that you heard. So those are answers, whether if you heard them from someone else or heard it off a movie or read it from a book, that's what you agree with, yes?
My beliefs are to not be tested or questioned because you could not even understand what it is my beliefs is and what I believe in and the way I live my life.
Okay.
You couldn't even begin to understand. So
okay.
I just, I move humbly and I, do my show. I just try to, have my personality, my TV personality, my radio, my personality when I'm in there.
Okay.
And it's a lot of things that I do. And nobody knows, you can sit here and chat to while I'm promoting how and I'm in a hotel. You have no idea what I do. You have no idea what lifestyle I live. You have nothing, you have no idea who I am. So for you to sit here and judge me, it's I'm just letting you talk and say your thing because you don't even know who you're talking to. So it's okay. I let you say what you had to say. But at the end of the day, I don't have to defend myself because I know who I am. I don't have to sit here and tell you, this is what I do, this and this and that, I got this and that. No, because I know who I am. I know who I am, and I know what I do, and I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I'm about to achieve. So we just keep moving and growing in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? And I had a hard knock life, so it's not, everything is not, all cupcakes and sunshines and rainbow thoughts. It's not always that. Sometimes it's tough, and I know tough times, I know hard shit, you know what I'm saying? Been through the trenches, and I made it out, and here I am, and I'm still standing. So
salute to you making out of the trenches. I mean, trust me, you're right. But I can tell you right off the rip, because I know, trust me. I mean, I've been around this too. Like what you speaking on. I mean, usually most women who make decisions like that, hoeing decisions, usually have been through a rough life.
I'm just telling you. I want to say something. I want to make my statement. Any woman out there that wants to say she has not had sex for money is a liar. Okay? And any woman out there that would say, that would bash another woman and say, oh, you're bad, you're this and this and that because you did what you had to do, is a hypocrite. Because we are all here, and we're all living, and we're all trying to live our best life, and we're all taking care of each other. You know what I'm saying? And if she's a real woman, she didn't get paid because she fucked that nigga. She got paid because she earned it. Whatever she did to earn it, she earned it. And if it's a problem for a man in my life to take care of me, to help me out when I need it, if I ask, then what the fuck are you a man in my life for? Get the fuck from around me. I can do that shit on my own, yeah? Okay. I got mini hustle. I got mini grind. So, I really don't need your dick. I really don't.
Okay. For the women out there who just heard that shit, any man who heard that shit, that sounds like a person who is very hurt to me. She's been hurt so much, so down on herself. And yeah, I mean, okay, she got pussy, but pussy ain't everything, little box. At the end of the day, every woman, you can't speak for every single female no more than I can speak for every man. That's why when you hear me say, or I'm very careful with my words, I say some. My wife has not fucked anybody for money. She comes from money. My girl hasn't fucked anybody for money.
Well, good for her. Good for her. She's born with a silver spoon.
Wait.
Good for her with her silver spoon.
Wait. No, because in the end, there's more important things in life than just fucking money. See, I can tell right now, you have some intelligence. You got some intelligence. You got some brains. I give you that. But there's a whole lot of fucking hurt and immaturity that's behind these responses, and I can see it. There's pain behind you, and I really know it. I could tell. I could look on your face, and trust me, I got cousins that was like that. I got sisters who have friends who go to Vegas, and they try to do that shit. Well, if I'm a fuck, I might as well get paid for it, type deal. And now they want husbands, and now they can't get husbands. They've been used and abused, and now they just, they ain't no 401ks and strip clubs. I ain't heard of one, or Roth IRAs. But anyway, or hoeing, that is. In the end, baby girl, you living for right now. It ain't about right now. It ain't all it's about your future, your son's future, your kings. You don't care. You don't even have that much self-respect about yourself to sit back and say, you know what? My sons may see me, and they might see me as being a hoe. Or if they get teased like that, you don't care. You don't have any. You mean to tell me you don't have any remorseful about the shit in terms of what you so-called had to do? Okay, you might have had to do that, but again, the key word is it's a past tense word. You had to. It ain't about where you were. It's about where you are and where you're going. Like my wife, I'm trying to get my wife to not just be wealthy and not wealth and love. I'm trying to get her financially freed, including me. So it sounds like to me, you ain't never met a king in your life unless he was your father. And I'm gonna tell you, most women in your situation never had a daddy. They never had an uncle. They never had a big bro to really get at them and actually mentor them right and tell them what type of motherfuckers, what type of brothers they need to watch out for, what type of males, and separating the differences between males and men. For real, I can see that already just by the way you talking. You know, and again, like you said, no, I don't know what you made it. And trust me, I come from that. We from different places, but we come from the same background. And I made it out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, really, I seen the shit. I know pimps. I knew hoes. My motherfucking cousins, a couple of my cousins was prostitutes. They was hoes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, they didn't end up nowhere but in jail and dead or dead. One of them is dead now. Dead being on the track. Dead calling some perv over to a hotel, some trick, and end up getting killed. And see, at the end of the day, I know I sound like I'm coming down on you. And I don't give a fuck if you roll your eyes. You can talk to the person next to you, but it's a tough love situation. And that's what's missing in our fucking community. Mm-hmm. That's what's missing. It's missing because men like me, brothers like Marcus, don't talk to women like you straight and tell you and set you straight and tell you if you feel that you value yourself, don't put a number on yourself and lay on your motherfucking back. You supposed to be better than yourself, and to tell you the truth, a king is supposed to protect you and tell you not to do that. I don't give a fuck what we going through. My wife will never get out on no track and hoe for nobody. Period. And ain't no pimp can turn her out. Go ahead, Mark.
We gonna pick this later, man, because
if you wanna talk, we can
polygamy lifestyle. That's all I want to do.
Okay, right. I know we. Yeah.
I want to ask one question, and then I'm just going to wrap it up. Okay, Kahlie, would you live a polygamous lifestyle with a successful brother like us? I can vouch for us. He is actively, him and his wife are looking for other wives. Would you consider a lifestyle like that? If yes or no?
I go live with them in their house. They have a house they have their own house. I'm coming live in their house, and I got my own space and everything.
Us?
What kind of deal you talking?
Oh,
what kind of contract you talking? What kind of deal you talking? Because
it's more of a hypothetical question, honey. I was asking. It doesn't have to be with us in particular. I'm saying if a man where you're at now, I think you said you're in New York right now. Would you, if a man, New York from Texas or LA, gave you the same proposition as Oz does to his women to live in a polygamous relationship, would you be down for it?
It just depends on how I'm feeling about the person. Because my life experiences, I've had many of these experiences, and so it's not a problem to me. To me, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing to me.
Mark, can I say something?
Yeah, brother, go ahead.
I think again, you got to make sure that it's a polygamous situation, not a polyamorous situation. Now, I didn't talk about too much in terms of the benefits with my wife. Like, say my girl Jazz came, she comes here, right? With me, we're planning to establish something where we can build our economic bank, our bank account well enough to get her a house of her own. Like, so she would live with us in terms, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, as a man, you have to really give a woman something. You just can't just tell her. You have to, the security part is not just a ring, because the ring only holds a certain amount of value for a certain amount of time. So when it devalues when it leaves the store. So when my girl Jazz, or when we take that step, my girl Jazz is either gonna have a condo before she moves here, or she's gonna have a home, a house of her own. You know, either we live in the same house or whether we live in another. So that's just where I'm coming from. But again, you got to be financially stable enough to do that. And again, and I'm not bragging on that. I'm just telling you, as a man, as a provider, as a planner, a provider, and a protector. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I would do with my lady. And I like the idea. I mean, I'm gonna be so honest with you. I mean, at this point in her mind, where way her mind work right now, I wouldn't even fuck with her. But if she got some more sense, and she's got talent to do it, if she got some more sense about herself, and you know what I'm saying, to a woman like her, not her personally, but a woman like her, I would consider that, because she understands what polygamy is. And at the end of the day, she do want better for herself. She can submit to the plan and the process. She can, you know, she have a can do, you know, winner mentality, and not a mentality to go out and just think that pulling a lick or a hustle is a way to do it. I'm not saying grinds is not necessary. I mean, yeah, I got a couple hustles myself, but at the same time, but it's hustle and flow. But there's positive ways that you can hustle, and there's positive ways. I mean, I've learned from the best: Dame Dash, Diddy, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, honestly, I really truly do hope she do see herself out of these situations and get them little kings that she done got back there up in Texas while she up in the Nye. And I've been out the Nye. Shout out to all my dudes in Brooklyn and on Sapna Avenue. You know?
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on to the program.
Yeah, my manager's getting on me, so yeah.
Sister, I appreciate
it. Salute to you. And again, think better of yourself. And vote for polygamy. Polygamy's the shit.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, man. I don't play no games. I don't tell no lies, man. I don't tell no lies.
That pretty well.
Huh?
I wanted her to focus and just ask you straight questions on the polygamous lifestyle.
Yeah, and I know we made a turn. And my apologies.
No, don't apologize. You and I have different stilos, you know, different styles. My way, yours, and your way worked tonight, because I want the message to get out. It's nothing personal against her. I wanted her I wanted her to ask you a question, or I'm sorry, to answer it to the best of her ability. And you gave her everything that she needed to hear, and I hope she takes heed of it. And all the sisters out there, the women out there watching tonight, I want y'all to take Oz's message too, because he dropped a lot of gems tonight, y'all. He didn't have to come on here. He has a family to take care of. He's got business to take care of. He's got a 9-to-5 job he's got to deal with. So I'm thankful that Oz is here. He didn't have to be here, ladies and brothers watching. So I'm just be thankful that he's here. You heard it from the man's straight out of his mouth, how he's living his life, and how you can live it too if you submit to it, ladies and brothers. If you got the balls, how we use a better
testicular fortitude.
Testicular fortitude. That's it, brother. Yeah, Mr. Farrakhan says it perfectly. Testicular fortitude to get the job done, to do multiple women, brother. It was all for that. I just get a lady in here and for her to ask a solid question, and that's all I wanted. So, but don't apologize, boss. It was fine. You said what you had to say. She said what she had to say, and you know, nobody's skin got from this, man. As far as I'm concerned.
Do I got another minute or two? Just real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, that shit about building kings that she said, man. What the fuck does that come? What the fuck? You build what? You build what? And you can't even wait a minute. You mean to tell me you can't? Okay? If you build kings, then you ought to know what one look like. You couldn't even answer me 2 or 3 straight questions. Because if you was a queen, you would answer these questions for me. But she's saying, well, I don't want to put myself up out there. And I get that. But at the same time, you know what? that lets me know I don't need, you know, if there's an issue in my kingdom with my queens, I need you to ask me straightforward questions. I need you to come. I have this problem, babe. I don't want you to be timid. I need you to talk to me, you know? And at the end of the day, that little lady just ain't never had nobody to talk to. She never had nobody to reason with her on a big brother or a man level. I can see that. I'm telling you, Mark, I see it. And I seen it on that day about that video with Holding the Pearl. And see, she's talking about a poly. That's why I gave her my definition, or no, the definition of what polyamory and what polygamy actually mean. Okay. Polyamory means I can just whore around until, or if you want in another way, I can whore around. I ain't gonna say whoring around. I can do what I want to do.
Just like I knew you would. You handle it perfectly.
Right. But
like, so you handle it perfectly. What I want to know is, can I have you back on again for like maybe next time you and the missus? I sound like an old boomer saying that, the missus, you and the wife, can y'all come on next time?
I'll do you better. Me and the missus and the girl could come on. How about that one?
Okay. Now, all right, bet. We'll talk offline about that. All three of y'all can come on then.
Right.
Like a part 2 of this.
Yeah.
I'm serious about getting this information out there. It has to be, it's like you're a successful Black family. And I want people to see that. It's more one way than to be successful in this world. And you guys are doing it.
So, keep in mind, I respect my wife and I respect my girl. These are my queens. So if they choose not to do it, okay, or if they just don't, I ain't gonna say choose not, if they're not comfortable, I'm not gonna force that up on them to do it. My wife is in the next room over. She can hear me loud and clear. Ain't no secrets. But I'm gonna ask them and see if they're comfortable with doing it, because I did do a show. I did do a show recently on polygamy, and my wife was so nervous she just didn't. She's never been in front of a camera before, so she ain't with it. But I didn't make her. Okay, so but I would love. But I mean, listen. I'm gonna do all I can to make sure that happens. And on top of that, I would love to do a part 2, not just on this. I like to talk about anything, man. But you know, again, brother, you know, polygamy is not just about sex. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna keep saying that. It's not just about sex. It's not just about me being laid up with 2, 3, 4, 5 women. It's not about that. It's bigger than that. Yes, that is involved. And I do enjoy it, but it's not about that. It's not fully about that. You know, think about all of the things I said, brothers and sisters. It has absolutely nothing. You can benefit more from this if you do it right. I'm not no super doctor. I'm a regular brother in this world who just made a decision to stop playing around and just be honest with myself about who I am and what I represent. Okay, so I don't want y'all to think that, oh, this dude, you know, he's got a doctorate in this shit. No, I don't have a doctorate. I got a bachelor's in business administration. I'm working on my MBA. At the end of the day, I'm human. I am a king. I call myself that. I represent that to the fullest. And in the end, if you're a woman that has an issue with my masculinity because I'm a man or any man, then you have no idea what being a woman is all about and the roles that needs to be played. Because a lot of brothers nowadays, and I'm just putting this out, are what I call is beta males. Not that it ain't nothing wrong with dealing with a cool, calm, and collective brother, because a cool, calm, collective brother can be like, nah, babe, not right now. But I'm a motherfucking man. And at the end of the day, that's what you're going to get. And that's what I advise men to become. I understand most of our brothers is being raised by a lot of single mothers, which is really emasculating our identities. But at the end of the day, I got some real role models on my side and that live within me, just not just my ancestors. Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, Shaka Zulu. WB Du Bois. Let's take it to the ladies. Phyllis Wheatley, first female that freed her slave through reading the Bible and writing poetry. Maya Angelou. Angela Davis, all power to the people of the Black Panther Party back in the 1960s. Sister Amma, who was also a member of the Black Panther Party back in the 1960s. Coretta Scott King, Minister Louis Farrakhan, Betty Shabazz, Malcolm X's wife, for y'all who don't know who that is. Those are my role models and those are my queens. Queen Hatshepsut, the first female pharaoh in Egypt. Moses, Jesus, God. Praise and respect, blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for coming on, brother.
Thank you. Oh yeah, thank you too, bro. Thank you, Marcus.
Because I know you said your wife was kind of shy of coming on it, so we'll talk offline about that. But thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. You made this an awesome Talking After Dark, man. So
bless. Salute to you, bro. Salute to you too, King. Salute to you, King.
Well, y'all, that's Marcus Love's Talking After Dark on polygamy, building a legacy through a harmonious polygamous lifestyle. I want to thank Brother Ashy for coming on the show. Also for Sister Kahlie, Samsara, for coming on the show. So y'all brothers, be safe out there. Watch your six, watch your back. And whatever you do, don't let nobody fuck with you. Okay?